Apex just dropped the Season 22 patch notes and they're insane. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how crazy Season 22 is going to be with all of its changes coming. Starting with the brand new map, the Electro District is an amazing new map that's coming in Season 22 that has a nighttime skybox and it's covered in these nice neon lights everywhere. And you can see in the background there is a giant angel statue, which is a throwback to Angel City in Titanfall. I'm sure this map will be full of plenty of Easter eggs, but overall it's a map with a lot of elevation, a lot of close quarters fights, and it's also a ginormous map as well. Now this map also features the brand new gravity launchers. They're not gravity cannons, they're gravity launchers that instantly ping you in a specific direction. It could be vertical, it could be horizontal, and it's a very good way of traversing this map, such as jumping between the roofs of buildings or getting up to some of the high ground really quickly. So the new map is beautiful and it will be taking over Apex for the first 2 weeks of Season 22, but after that, Broken Moon and Stormpoint will be in the pubs and ranked rotation for the first split. Anyway, let's get on to the big changes coming next season. The controller class is getting the new perk Zone Overcharge, where controller legends will now get 25 extra shield capacity while they're fighting in zone. So once you're standing in the zone, then you'll get that extra shield capacity, meaning if you had blue armor, then you could basically have purple armor for free. But Zone Overcharge will never enhance the armor past red capacity, so you can't go above 125, but if you have purple armor, you basically don't need red as long as you're fighting in the zone. Controllers also got buffed with a brand new quality of life feature. The remote pickup will allow controller legends to remotely pick up their undamaged tacticals, such as Watson fences, caustic traps, and rampart walls through walls. And this will restore your tactical charge, and this is a huge change, especially for caustics and Watsons. This is going to be really, really good. Now, Recon Legends also got a brand new perk, which is Threat Vision. Recon Legends will now gain Threat Vision when aiming down sights, and this will only be for close players within line of sight. It won't be super long range, and it won't work through walls or smokes, but it just helps identify players while you're aiming down sight. And they've also changed the survey beacons. Now they're much faster to use, they only take 3 seconds, but they now have a range of about 500 meters. They now also only grant 75 evo instead of 200, but what's cool is it will now pulse 3 times every 5 seconds to show the enemy's location. So you'll actually get an up-to-date location for 15 seconds of where these enemies are moving around you, and it will no longer notify everyone that a survey beacon has been used. Instead, it will show an in-world pulse around the survey beacon, so if people aren't paying attention, they won't know you've scanned them. Now, with Season 22 introducing the dual-wield pistols, which look awesome in first person, you're going to want to save your best clips in-game when you're using these brand new weapons. And there's no better way to do it than with Outplayed, which lets you automatically clip your best moments and share them on social media. And I'll show you just how easy Outplayed is to set up. So if you're on PC, you can download Outplayed. There's a link in the description, and once you have that open, you can set it up to capture the entire game if you'd like, or you can manually capture clips by pressing a hotkey throughout the game, or my favorite feature is by using the highlight. This way, Outplayed will automatically save clips when I get a kill, or an assist, or if I revive a teammate, or even if I die. And after each session of playing Apex, it nicely sorts them in a designated folder, so you can go back and look at all the gameplay. And luckily, Outplayed sponsored this video, so big thanks to them, because it really comes in handy when trying to share your Apex moments, and it's going to be just what you need to capture those Season 22 highlights. Now, within the patch notes, they also mentioned the brand new stat tracker update, which is pretty awesome. It's a nice way to make these cosmetics a little bit better. Basically, stat trackers will now be split up into stats and art. So you'll get tracker art in things like the battle pass, and this is the artwork that you can then put your own stat tracker on top of. So you can mix and match some really cool stat tracker art that you like, and then put whichever stats you want, such as kills, damage, or Apex wins. And speaking of cosmetics, the brand new battle pass is going to be the new battle pass, which will only last for half a season. So every split you'll have to get a new battle pass, but the good thing about the Shockwave battle pass is that you can get it for free during the entire split one. All you have to do is complete 5 super simple challenges, which you can see on screen, and that will grant you the premium pass for free, which will give you 1,300 Apex coins, so you can buy every future pass for free. Make sure you do that in the new season. They're also updating the loot bin system so that now, halfway through a game, all loot bins will reset and restock ammo. Now, the reset loot bins will look slightly different, so you know if they'd been opened before, which does give you intel on whether people were around that area. And after the reset, multiple bins will convert into legendary loot bins that provide smart loot guaranteeing the contents to be relevant upgrades for your squad. And there's also another new type of bin, the Mythic bin. Only one Mythic bin will spawn into the match during the game, and it will be shown on the minimap. And Mythic bins will take like 15 seconds for you to interact with to open them, but they will contain one random care package weapon, gold versions of weapons that you were holding during the time you opened the bin, medical supplies and grenades will also be shot out, and a large XP bonus will be given to your whole squad. Pretty nice stuff, but they do also mention that they've reduced the spawn rate of purple and gold attachments by about 50%, so you're really going to want to open those loot bins, but since the loot bins are going to reset halfway through the game, you will end up still finding just as many through loot bins, so don't really worry about that. Now, the death box has also been reorganized to be much more useful. So as you can see in the death box, all your healing items will be right near the top for you to quickly grab, and the shield core has been moved to the top of the gear section so you can shield swap super fast. No need to scroll down to the bottom, just instant shield swap. It's going to be great. There's also a nice quality of life improvement. Mantling at the same time as someone else in your team in the same spot will no longer force players to drop. This has been an issue a lot of people have had for years now, and finally they've actually sorted it. Another huge gameplay change is Battle Sense. Battle Sense is now coming to everyone, and one of the features of Battle Sense will show enemy health bars. So when you damage an enemy, you'll now be shown the armor and health state of the enemy. This health bar is only active for a brief time after dealing damage and then fades away. And this still requires direct line of sight. If the enemy goes into smoke or if they go behind cover, the health bar will disappear. At really close range, enemies will also be highlighted with a light red line around them, just like how your teammates have a blue line around them, and this will fade away as you get further away. It's just to help players identify enemies much easier, and it requires direct line of sight. It won't work in smokes. I think this is just to help the newer players kind of get used to the game. LMGs are getting a nice buff with the brand new hop-up gun shield generator. This will generate a gun shield a bit like Gibraltar's shield with 40 health that will absorb any shots that hit it. The gun shield will be recharged 12 seconds after taking damage or breaking, and if you equip it as Gibraltar, then it just improves his regular gun shield and increases its health to 75. All LMGs are also going to be given the reverse hipfire that was on the Devotion, so if you're shooting an LMG for a long time in hipfire, then you will get a tighter spread. Alright, now let's blast our way through the weapon changes. So the biggest weapon change is of course the brand new Akimbo mode for the P2020 and Mozambique, which I'm sure you've seen plenty of gameplay of by now. So essentially now, once you pick up a P2020 or Mozambique, you'll have the option to pick up a second one. Now once you do that, it will activate dual wield, where you'll hold both weapons at once, and you can toggle dual wield on and off once you have both weapons. Now while dual wield is active, you won't be able to aim down sight. Instead, you can aim to slightly focus your hipfire, but you can't use the scope attachment anymore. But during dual wield, you can still use all other attachments, and you only need one of the attachment. You don't need two extended mags, and the P2020 will also be automatic while in dual wield, so all you have to do is hold to fire, and it will alternate between left and right in super rapid succession, and it just looks super fun to play with. Of course, they'll also have a bunch of new animations, so look out for some Easter eggs in the new update. The next big change is the care package rotation. The EVA 8 has been replaced by the R99, so the R99 will now be a care package weapon, and it has 30 ammo in its magazine, and the damage has been increased. And with the EVA 8 coming out of the care package, it also got the boosted loader hop-up, which will give you a faster reload if you reload with 4 bullets or less. The Hemlock has been nerfed by just 1 damage per shot. They also increased the time between the bursts for the Hemlock and reduced the white and blue magazine capacity. The Flatlines magazine size has been nerfed by 1 bullet, but they also tightened the hipfire spread. It's still a pretty minor change. Surprisingly, the Havoc has barely been nerfed. All they've done is increase the hipfire spread, so if you're hipfiring with the Havoc, you might have a harder time hitting someone, but they haven't reduced the damage or anything like that, so the Havoc should still be pretty powerful. Now, both the Mastiff and the Peacekeeper have been changed, and they've gone and altered the blast pattern of these shotguns to make them more consistent at hitting shots where you're aiming. So the Peacekeeper's pattern has changed from the star shape to an upside down triangle. It also shoots less pellets, so you're hitting more consistent damage. I think this will end up being a really nice change, and you'll hopefully now start noticing you'll be hitting much more consistent, better shots with the Peacekeeper compared to before. Same with the Mastiff, they've tightened up the blast pattern, so you should be hitting more consistent shots and more damage when you're aiming at the player. Disruptor rounds are also gone, so sorry alternator users. They also changed the way that ammo stacks, so light ammo can now stack up to 72 instead of 60, shotgun ammo can stack up to 20 instead of 14, and energy ammo can only stack up to 54 instead of 60. Aim flinch and aim assist is also changing. So aim flinch has been removed, and what this was anytime you were being shot, when your shields were depleted, you'd receive aim flinch, which would push your crosshair out of the way and make you miss a bunch of shots, and it was really annoying, especially on keyboard and mouse, because you didn't have aim assist to automatically put you back on the player. But in Season 22, aim flinch is completely removed, so now no matter what, when you're being shot at by an enemy player, your crosshair will not move as a result of being shot. It's going to feel a lot nicer and more balanced in that sense, because you won't be given an extra disadvantage because you had a smaller shield than the opponent or that you got shot first. One small caveat to this rule is that aim flinch is still in the game only while you're in the zone. So when you take damage from zone, you will get aim flinch, and the devs said they kept this because it's trying to deter people from sitting in the zone, and it wants to make the zone feel as scary as possible. So good change there, and they're also nerfing aim assist. So first of all, aim assist on PC is being nerfed by 25%. So if you use a controller while playing on PC, then you'll have 0.3 aim assist instead of 0.4. Now this doesn't affect console players, so if you are playing on console, you'll still have your standard 0.6 aim assist unless you're in a PC lobby. So if you're playing on console and you're queuing with a PC player, you will now have your aim assist nerfed. So if you are someone who typically plays on a console with your friends on PC, you're going to see a difference in your aim assist, and it's definitely going to make PC lobbies feel a little bit better when it comes to fighting controller players. I still think controller will still be much more powerful and the better option when playing Apex. At the beginning of Season 22, you'll also be able to play the brand new Revival mode, which will be a trios takeover, and it will implement the new respawning mechanic. Basically, if you die, you will automatically respawn after a certain amount of time as long as your teammate is still alive. They may be testing this to become a main feature of the game, but I don't think it's going to be good for the main game because it just promotes people to go for fights that they shouldn't really go for and just have one of your teammates sitting out the way hiding for the respawn. You'll also be able to play Straight Shot Revived from August 20th, which is the normal Straight Shot mode, but with this new reviving mechanic. And speaking of modes, there is a brand new Bot Royale mode, and this is for new Apex players that need help learning the game. Now, this is a full game of bots, and even bots on your teammates, or you can invite your real friends to play in Bot Royale to practice with different weapons and get warmed up and up to speed, which is good for new players. I think this is a good idea, and it will definitely be kind of funny just playing Bot Royale, seeing what the bots get up to. Now let's talk about some legend changes. There's a good amount to get through here. So we've talked about the class perks for controller and recon legends, so let's go into the specifics. So Alta got some small buffs to her ultimate, basically making it a little bit faster, giving her reduced ult cooldown, and making it a bit better to use while you're knocked, not having to actually look at the ultimate. So because they reduced her ultimate cooldown, she now gets that perk replaced by the Ringmaster, so she can now use ring consoles. I think that's a pretty meh perk. Hopefully they change that. Ballistic got a buff. His tactical lock-on time has been decreased to 0.1 seconds, and it was 0.3 seconds. Caustic got a quality of life change to his tacticals. They now show green if they are friendly and red if they're enemy. Crypto also got some changes that a lot of people are going to like. So his drone has its cooldown decreased to 30 seconds. It was 40 seconds after it was destroyed. And he's got a new off-the-grid perk, which means he goes invisible while using his drone. This is a level 2 perk, and it is absolutely incredible. Now, it does emit a slight sound in close range, so if you are near an invisible Crypto, you might be able to hear it. Threat vision-related skills will not reveal Crypto, so you won't see him highlighted or anything like that. His improved satellite imagery perk now also allows his ultimate to scan anyone that it hits for 4 seconds, and it will track them through walls. And his drone now handles much better. He used to have a perk called Quick Ping, which would improve his drone handling, but that has been integrated into his base kit. Rampart's ultimate has been reworked so that Sheila now works like Vantage's ultimate. So once you've charged the ultimate, it will then charge up the ammo, and you can use the ammo and then stop using the weapon, and it will recharge the ammo as long as you don't go back down to 0 ammo. So just like Vantage, you can charge up the ammo and let it recharge. Sear's tactical has been improved so that the health bars will now persist for the duration of the silence, so they'll last a bit longer. stronger. His passive has also been buffed so that you now move slightly faster and it's quieter while active, and some of his perks have been changed. His focus scan was removed and he has a new split focus perk, which means he gains an additional tactical charge. Vantage has been buffed so that now Echo no longer requires line of sight. Instead, you can launch even when line of sight is blocked. You can also cancel the tactical mid charge, and her ultimate has also been buffed a lot. The second shot multiplier is now 2.5 times, so you'll now hit 175 damage to the head with a multiplied second shot, and body shots even do 125 damage. It's pretty nice. Her passive now also works on all optics, so no matter what scope you're using, the passive will work. And Watson's had some buffs to her perks. She now has the power pylon perk, which doubles the ultimate health and allows her ultimate to recharge so that it can basically stay there infinitely as long as it doesn't get fully shot down. She also has the emergency power perk, which doubles her ultimate's rate and capacity, so you'll now heal super fast from her ultimate if you have this perk enabled. They've also made some changes to ranked so that the rank reset will be a little bit different. If you ranked from bronze 4 to plat 4, then you'll reset to bronze 4 next season. If you were platinum, you'll end up being bronze. If you were diamond, you'll reset to silver, and if you were master and above, you'll be reset to gold 4. Ranked rumble will also return at the end of the first split, which will pause ranked, but it will also work a little differently. In the new ranked rumble, you'll be able to play without a 10 match limit, and the game will just take your top 10 matches to place you in the leaderboard, so you can just play as much as you want to try and keep getting better. Also, a new Nessie has appeared in the firing range, so good luck trying to find that. And I think that wraps it up. So that's everything that was mentioned in the patch notes. Let me know if you're excited for Season 22. It's a huge update, as you can tell by the fact of how long this video was. That's how long it took to cover everything. So I don't think we need to spend any longer on this video.